A reporter writes countless news stories in her career. Seldom does a reporter become a part of it. I wrote a story in December 2019 with the headline "Resting with Dignity, a Century On," about graves of 130 British First World soldiers and officers buried in Hyderabad's 5 cemeteries. On October 26, I received an email from an Irish woman asking for details of a cemetery. At first, I suspected the mail to be spam. I was curious to know why someone from Ireland wants to know the details. I replied to the mail asking additional information from her. She replied saying for the last 4 decades she has been trying to trace and locate her granduncle, Rifleman Michael Joseph Leonard. He joined the British Army, was working in Royal Inniskilling Fusiliers Infantry Regiment in Secunderabad in 1915. He passed away on May 1, 1915 after suffering from illness. She mentioned that he was buried in Trimulgherry cemetery in Secunderabad. This has set me on the work to help a family living 8,200 kilometers away in another continent. We are at the cemetery number 12 of the British era cemetery established by the British Army exclusive for their soldiers and the officers way back in late 1800 century. And this is the last resting place of all the soldiers and the officers who passed away while working in Trimulgherry cantonment and the Secunderabad garrison area. So this cemetery has, as of now, 88 graves of soldiers and officers, and there is another cemetery opposite, diagonally opposite to the cemetery, cemetery number 5, where there are 7 graves which are listed as Commonwealth War Graves. The 2 cemeteries are spread across 11.5 acres and home to rich wildlife. Clinton and helper Narasimha made 2 attempts to search the grave but in vain. On November 13, we decided to make one last attempt and entered the thickly wooded area, walking on a narrow trail through thick vegetation. Clearing creepers, branches, we reached a huge wooden door. The dilapidated door and the walls with faded paint gave way. That is an old structure. We walked further and found a headstones. After searching more, we found the grave number 269A. This is the number we are looking for, Mr. Sudesh said.
I recently had a request from the Hindu Hyderabad office. The resident editor, Mr. Ravi Reddy, requested for search of a grave since they had a request from one of the Irish lady. So we did a recce actually in all the graves. We couldn't find it out, but finally when we came to number 5 graveyard, we could see now this grave finally found. So the grave number is 269. Finally, with great difficulty, with the help of Mr. Clinton and one of the helper here, we could trace this grave. I'm sure the Irish family would definitely cherish looking at this found grave.
I informed Miss Sheila Shanley that we found her granduncle's grave. She finally found closure.